I want to start off this episode by saying that other people's judgments and perceptions of you can be your superpower. When I was younger, I was diagnosed with a learning disability. I was told that I would never make it through college. I was told that my teachers were concerned about me because I couldn't do the monkey bars. And I was diagnosed with ADHD. I was put on meds at a young age. And I was basically forced by society to believe that there was something wrong with me. And here I am. I graduated from college with a degree as an As an occupational therapist, which is someone who actually helps kids with disabilities. I work out next to fucking professional athletes, okay? So y'all don't gotta be concerned about me with the monkey bars at this age. And I've been able to take very challenging state tests, pass boards, get certified without being on any type of medicine for ADHD, and you can too. And I'm going to share with you my experience and my story behind it. That was a good intro. Damn. Okay. This is part 2, even though I said I wasn't going to do like a series, but this is the second episode in a row where I'm just getting super vulnerable with you guys. And I decided that I am going to share my story more. And part of my story is that I was diagnosed with ADHD, a small case, and auditory processing disorder. I was in the small classes, which it was so fucked up. When I was in high school, do you know what they called it? They called it the basement. How, imagine not only having a learning disability, but knowing that you're not up to speed with the other kids in school, but your classes are in the basement. Like they would literally say, "Oh, what floor are you on?" "Oh, my classroom's in the basement for this period." So yes, I was in the small classes and I was diagnosed at a very young age. And I have used this as my superpower. I used to get yelled at in school because I couldn't sit still. Now I have a swivel chair at my workstation because you're right. I can't sit still. I have a lot of energy inside that likes to move. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with me. And if any of you can relate to anything I'm saying, it goes for you too. It does not mean there's anything wrong with you. So yeah, I used to get yelled at for not sitting still. I used to get yelled at for calling out. That's something I'm still working on. And, there's a story behind that too, because I was told I have ADHD and I can't remember everything. Sometimes I feel like I have to say it right when it's on my mind because I don't want to forget it, because growing up, I was so conditioned to think that I would forget everything. And I realized as I grew up and as I got older, the things that really were meant to come out of my mouth, I wouldn't forget them. And so now I don't have to worry about that. But so yeah, growing up, my guidance counselor told my mom in high school that I wouldn't make it through college. Yeah, my mom took me to college. She's like, "Jessie, we're going to a special college." And yeah, my mom is amazing. So the reason why I am sharing all of this is because, one more thing before I get into that. Throughout high school, we tried to put myself on ADHD medication. And I want to talk to you guys about that. I tried probably every single medication there is under the sun, every single one. Concerta, Vyvanse, Adderall, Ritalin. I can't believe I still remember these names. They all made me feel like a zombie. They all made me feel very focused. Yeah. But I felt like I had no personality. I felt like a fucking robot. At the end of the day, I would be depressed. I remember specifically, I was working at my first gym. So this was 10 years ago. I was working at my first gym and it was at nighttime when I was coming off of the medicine. And people would come up to me and be like, "Are you okay? Like, are you mad? Like, is everything okay?" I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm just, just like long day, end of the day." And it was because I was coming off of my ADHD medicine. And I want to tell you right now, I'm on no medicine at all. I found ways to cope with it, and the medicine really did nothing for me. Besides, it did make me very, very focused for a couple hours while I was on it, and I felt good. But everything else besides that, I felt nauseous. I felt anxious. I felt depressed. I want to feel natural, and I would rather feel natural. All that to say, the medication just never agreed with me. I was never able to find one that felt good. And it makes sense because it's all chemicals. It's not natural for human beings to be on that shit. So I, I chose to stop taking it. And let's see, what else did I? Okay, so the reason why I'm sharing all this is because I was conditioned at a young age to have all these negative beliefs about myself and how I learn and who I am as a person. And it's shown up in ways in my life as I've gotten older. And before I start to talk about things that helped me with like having ADHD, I like to say that I was diagnosed with it, but I don't allow it to like rule my life. I don't go around saying I have ADHD. I feel like that's like the new thing these days. I'll like, I have ADD, I can't sit still. Or like, oh, I have ADD, sorry, that was my ADD. I don't like to personally claim it because of just the way that it really made me feel at a young age. It made me literally feel like I was just not okay, that there was something wrong with me. And, to each their own. I know some people who are super, super successful. I know a lot of people who are successful. Some of the most successful people were diagnosed with ADHD. I just choose to not associate myself with that word, meaning like I don't say I have it. Once in a while, because I am human, I'm not perfect, I might joke around and say, "Oh, sorry, that was my ADHD. I got a little ADHD." You know what I'm saying? But I've really grown to embody the fact that I just like to move. It makes sense to me. And oh my gosh, going back to that monkey bar thing. Yeah, they were concerned about me. They called my mom. They were concerned about me physically because I did develop slowly physically. I was not a coordinated kid, but now here I am in my late 20s working out right next to professional athletes, professional football players and basketball players. I am coordinated as fuck now. But when I was younger, I just took a little longer. I just learned differently. And so the reason why I am sharing all this is to share with you that if you can relate to this at all, I really invite you to try this on. And that is, we all just learn differently. And there's nothing wrong with being diagnosed with certain things, but you have the power and the opportunity to choose if you want to continue to believe that and entertain that. And no, I'm not a doctor. I'm just sharing my own experiences, but I can proudly say that I've grown into a woman who knows who she is and who doesn't really classify herself as having a learning disability. I had one. I was diagnosed with one, but I don't have it right now. That is why I'm very conscious of my words. I have a podcast episode all about your language. Highly recommend it. I kind of want to make an updated one because I've added some new language shifts. Another part of my story that I will explain in another episode is my voice. Some of y'all have complimented my voice and how I speak and how good I am about sharing. This was not natural either. This is a muscle that I worked. My throat chakra was closed for a large part of my life, and that comes from trauma at a young age. This is not the most comfortable thing for me, but I've practiced it enough for it to become a love and a passion of mine. So that's one other thing I wanted to state, but I will write that down right now so I don't forget. So before I end this episode, I just want to share with you guys a few things that helped me. Coffee helped me a lot. I felt like coffee did the opposite to me than it did to others. Coffee kind of calmed me down and made me more centered. Now, and so I was like dependent on coffee. When I tell you, I was having like 2 extra large cup of coffees a day from Dunkin' Donuts when I was living in Jersey, especially during holiday season, pumpkin, probably like 100 grams of sugar. And I was pounding that shit back. But I used to be so addicted to coffee because I was really under the mindset that that was helping me not be on ADHD medicine. And that was like the replacement. And so, yeah, it helped me at the time. Great. And I'm all for finding what works for you at that time. But now I've actually cut all coffee out of my life. I don't drink coffee anymore. If I do, it's a mushroom coffee, but regular coffee, I don't drink it. There's mold in it. Mold causes anxiety. I don't do that. In mushroom coffee, there's not mold. I drink Eons. I have a discount code. If you want, I will hopefully remember to leave it down below. That's the only coffee I drink. If you come over my house, that's all I have. And I drink matcha tea, but I completely cut out coffee. And that's, again, a whole nother episode why I cut out coffee. But long story short, I was in this phase of my life where I was cutting out all addictions. That was one of them. And I just haven't gone back. And then I started to see the benefits of not drinking coffee. And there's so many. So I said, hell with it. No, thank you. But at the time it supported me and I was all for it. And just want to say one thing. Anything I talk about that I don't do, I do not judge people who do it. I don't judge anyone at all. I am full open arms and I accept everyone the way they are. And so I really hope y'all don't think I am like this girl who knows it all, because I think that's kind of like an imposter syndrome that I'm still working through, is hoping that people don't think that I am a bitch or I am stuck up or I like know it all, because I don't know it all. I know a lot and I know what works and what doesn't work. And I go through that through my experiences and through my clients' experiences. But again, I do not judge anyone for anything. So just wanted to make that clear. One more thing I also did with my coffee when I was really in the thoughts of like, oh, what do I do to replace my ADHD medicine? I used MCT oil. Yo, that like helps with brain cognition. It is so good. MCT oil, it's all natural. It's derived from coconuts. Look into it. So cool. And so that's what I used to do to supplement the ADHD medicine. Now what I do is my full morning routine. I feel like that has really supported me with thinking I had a learning disability, which is allowing me to become really present with myself, meditate. And let me tell you, I used to be the girl who's like, sit there with my eyes closed for 5 minutes. Fuck no, I can't even do that for a minute. Now I meditate. Okay. And so, yeah, like I said, I was once the girl who like did not believe in meditation because I couldn't do it. But that's something I kept telling myself. That was a limiting belief. That was a story that I was literally making up in my head, that I couldn't sit still in silence because of what I was told when I was younger. See how it all comes full circle? And so I chose to break free from that belief and I started meditating, and meditating helps me so much just get grounded, meaning like centered and like calm and here and aware. And journaling and ice baths help my brain clarity is what I call it now. You know, certain things like maybe light music in the background while I'm doing something that requires my focus. But besides that, I just really focus on my mental health. And I feel like that has fully like, I mean, I want to say it healed my ADHD and healed any of those learning disabilities that I was diagnosed with. So, whew, yeah, girls, that is part of my story. And I really grew out of this learning disability. Now I speak on stages. Now I travel the world and I educate people about their mindset, coming from a girl who had so many doubts and so many people who didn't believe me. I was not projected to make it out of high school, to make it through college, I was predicted to not have any type of coordination physically. And here I am showing up and showing the fuck out. So if I could do it, you could do it. I hope this episode inspires you. And if there's anything I can do to support you, please send me a DM on Instagram. And I am always, always here for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to rate and review this episode. And I will see you next week in my next episode. Bye.